So, what is the minimum level of virtue and precepts for someone who aspires to understand the Dhamma, and why can't you just understand the Four Noble Truths with less than that? Why is virtue an indispensable prerequisite for true understanding? Isn't it just a matter of clearly seeing the things that are already there?
It is a matter of clearly seeing things that are already there. However, you can't see them because they're obscured, obstructed, covered up, wrapped up in your unwholesome, unbeneficial behavior. So until that behavior is purified, what is there is not those things that you want to see. So things that you need to understand, like the root of the suffering and so on, are there but are simply obscured. So when you look at them, you're seeing something else. So the problem people have with that is that, oh well, but how can I know? How can I know that being virtuous would make me understand? Well, by being virtuous. That's the problem. That shows you the limits of the reason. I said that before. When the Buddha said, the Dhamma cannot be attained by the mere reasoning alone, doesn't mean you need to become unreasonable. Doesn't need to become like you need to become mystical and just ignore the basic principles of thought. No, it means it needs another aspect to be as an input there. So you keep your reason, but amplify it. And you can't pre-reason the virtue as an amplifier of reason. You need to do it. But people want to find a reasonable... you could obviously reason that virtue would probably be helpful, but you can't know for sure. The only way to know what virtue does to your reason is to start keeping the virtue while trying to understand the Dhamma with your reason, i.e. looking for the meaning, looking for the root principle, the universal nature of things, and so on. So the whole point of that virtue is really to create this dimension that doesn't exist in you because you don't have the virtue. The dimension of confined mind that is then outlined in and of itself, not scattered. And that can only be done through certain mode of behavior. 8 precepts, sense restraint, moderation, what we go on and on and on and on about. And the only question you need to ask yourself is, what do I have to lose? So you say, yeah, but I still want to know before I start doing it whether it will be a guaranteed success. It was like, well, the only way to know it is to start doing it. Same, the simile of the 2 friends, one goes on top of the mountain, another one's at the bottom, says, what do you see up there? And says, I see seas and mountains. And I was like, I don't see anything. I turn around, I don't see anything. I want you to show me what you see without me needing to climb the mountain. Well, that's impossible. But as I said, just ask yourself, well, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose if I stop killing or thinking unwholesome thoughts of harm? What do I have to lose if I stop lying or thinking, engaging in forms of deceit and so on? What do I have to lose if I stop scratching the itch like a rabid monkey? Sensual itch. What do I have to lose if I withdraw from sensuality? Withdraw from pressure, pain, thirst. That's not very calming nor peaceful. What do I have to lose if I stop taking intoxicants? What do I have to lose if I focused on honesty and transparency? It's like nothing. I'm actually gaining. Plus, if I keep trying to understand the Dhamma, I might get that dimension that cannot be attained through mere reasoning alone. So it's a win-win either way.